got off, yeah. Yeah, those are some pretty hefty weeds. So these are some of the undergrowth in the lake we got to deal with. And so far, like I said, I've been fortunate to get out. This one's pretty heavy. So we'll just see if we can get undone here. So far, so good. Get all cleared up again. Yep. Okay. Everything quiet on the western front. I guess we can say that. The catfish setup is to the west of me. It's actually on the right side. And you know how we love to cast to the right side. You know, I think about that, casting to the right side. That's where the blessings come from in our life. That God has established patterns for our life. And it's just like when we go fishing, we have patterns that we want to follow to find the fish. You know, they've got so much of this electronic stuff. In fact, I was watching, I guess it was Jimmy Houston. He was talking about the forward-looking radar. You know, he said in shallow water, it's really good. So you don't run into trees or stumps or rocks or whatever, particularly when the water is really cloudy and you can't see them. So it's really a protective device besides showing you where the fish are. And I know it does that in an amazing way. But you know, we've got that same sort of protection. We've got that same sort of protection that God brings to us. That He's looking out. He's looking out for us. And He can see things that we can't see that might be 25 years out. And yet He guides us along so we won't run into the pitfalls of missing the blessing that He wants to bring to us. You know, whether that's a personal item or as we look to this election that's coming up, we've got to be able to say, God, show us. Show us the right path to be on. Show us those things that would hang us up as an individual or as a nation from receiving the blessings that you would have for us. So I'll just leave that with you as we're down here enjoying the opportunity to go fishing and just to think about your life as God looks forward and He can see into the future because He sees that you were made in His image and that plans were established for you. Now, just like the plans for building a house, you got an architect that drew them up and said, man, this is going to be the most beautiful house I've ever seen. But you know what? If the builders, and that's kind of like you and me, if the builders don't follow those plans, it could turn out to be a trash heap. You know? And that's what God has set up. He doesn't want us to turn out to be a trash heap. He's got wonderful plans for us. And all we have to do is stay plugged into His plans. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. In fact, I was reading about the Apostle Paul just today. That man, when he became a Christian, when he met Jesus Christ, He was told what his life was going to be like as an apostle, somebody that would go into the world at that time and share the good news of Jesus Christ with Jews and Gentiles around the area. And I'll tell you what he was told was not really pleasant for him. And when you look at his life, he was beaten at least 2 times with 39 stripes. The 40th stripe was called the killer stripe. That's the one that would take you out. But twice he was beat, I'll just say within an inch of his life, for sharing the gospel. Another time, in one of his journeys, the ship he was on sank, and he was out in the Mediterranean Sea for a day and a half, just waiting to get picked up. You know, our life might not be that way, the same as the Apostle Paul's, but there are going to be challenges, and the only way we can get through those challenges is to put all our faith and our hope in Jesus Christ, and that God is looking at us, and he says, I'll take care of you. I'll make sure you get through this. And it might be frustrating, but just hang in there and you'll get through it. And you know, isn't that a truth about fishing too? Just hang in there. You might not catch anything today, but there's an opportunity to come back another time, and maybe you'll just fill the boat up. So we're going to close this down. I think we've been here almost an hour now. Let me check my watch. Not quite. So I'm going to close this down for the day and say we had fun. We tested out the waters with an experiment. We didn't catch anything, but you know, just as Richard Gene says, fishing is good for you. I believe that. And I know you, if you follow this, you believe that too. And I know this, following God, follow his pathways, follow his plans for your life. That's the best thing you can ever do. So we'll close it down for now. This is Douglas Allen Frazier closing down. I'm Going Fishing 21-3 with a little bit of action on casting to the right side.